Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Sacred Books of Britney Spears. I'm Aaron, and as always, I'm joined by my friends Bessie Jo
Hello.
and John Wayne.
Good day, sir.
And again, we're back quarantining. We're kind of doing this remotely. Bessie Jo's back inside the building, though. How's the new
Mm-hmm.
how's your new apartments or your room?
It's wonderful. I love the beige color you painted the basement. It's
Well,
perfect.
I wanted to go for something new, kind of uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I thought when I think of your personality, it's like beige,
Yeah,
beige.
makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Thank you for putting so much thought into the paint color.
Now, obviously, we scrubbed out all the mold, which is basically covering every surface. It was kind of weird because we always thought that your apartments were black,
Mm-hmm.
but it was actually just mold over the stone.
Yeah, and I was filling that suggestion box with plenty of notes begging for some help. But I'm really happy someone finally listened. I really appreciate it.
Nice. Well, yeah, we had lost the key to the box, and so we finally found it, and we're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, we should deal with this.
Eventually I realized it was just my fault and I should have just stopped being so passive aggressive and come up to you and just said, "Hey, my room is covered in mold. I think I'm covered in mold. Can we do something about this?" But I think I had a fear
And
that you would kick me out.
see, and I hope that you could see that that was unfounded, because as soon as we learned, we kicked you out into the garden, and we took matters into our own hands.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not mine. Some guys that we hired.
Yeah. No, we wouldn't want to defile your hands with black mold. Are you tweezing your eyebrows, John Wayne?
Yes, I was.
Oh,
But not
Just
your
kidding.
eyebrows, just the middle of your face,
Yeah.
the T-zone.
Well, I can't see anything else, so I usually just sit here and pick. It's kind of like a habit.
hmm
Wow,
you do have really nice eyebrows.
you do.
Really?
They're full. Yeah.
I guess it's because you're consistently grooming.
No, I mean all I do is just this middle. I have this fear of having a unibrow, so I just don't want that.
hmm
Did you used to have one?
No, I feel like there was a point in my life because like when you look back in old photos, I remember seeing me when I was in like middle school and like even high school, and I was like, I realized that like I probably looked disgusting because I had all this peach fuzz, and in my head it wasn't a big deal, like I never noticed. But when I look back on the photos, I have like all this little peach fuzz like mustache, and I was like, ew. Like
Like,
what
was
was
it
that?
dark? Was it dark peach fuzz?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, at one point, yeah, like it just looked gross. I'm like, what the fuck was I doing?
Were you trying to grow it out?
I don't know. I think it was just like unaware.
Is
Like
it?
how sometimes girls like they have like a lot of hair and they're just unaware because it's like so light colored.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've run into those. Like, oh, you got a lot of hair up there. Do you not notice that?
So it's been another week inside. How's everybody doing with, another week of isolation?
I miss the gardens. I'm getting paler. So I think I'm gonna commit to half my week in the gardens and half my week in the beige basement.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a good idea. I actually finally went out there.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to sort of see some of these cats, see some of the parrots.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's really amazing that we had that back there.
Yeah.
It had just been a while. I don't think I had seen it since it was so overgrown.
Yeah.
And I don't mean overgrown in a bad way. I just mean that all of that had been filled in, before it was sort of a rocky, stony.
Courtyard.
Yeah. So it's really lovely back there. You and John Wayne, how's life inside the library?
Good, good, good. It's funny. You would think with all this time, it would be the cleanest, most organized it's ever been. But it's almost like, no, I just don't.
Do you think it's worse?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
I think it's gotten worse. And I don't know. I want to say, like, I'm just like rioting against the fact that I'm like, just because I'm inside, just because I have nothing to do, doesn't mean I have to clean and organize shit. Like, fuck you, fuck the system. Yeah, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Now, I don't know, and I know we've kind of broached on this, but I like when libraries are a little bit,
Dusty.
dusty and antiquated. Yeah, it makes it I don't know, it just makes me feel smarter, like I'm going into a place that's
Like you're in,
Like
you're in an adventure movie.
yeah, and it's just so filthy. Um yeah, I like that.
Sure. Well, next time you come in, I'll throw some dirt on you.
Yeah.
when are you gonna? I mean, I hope that happens soon.
I mean,
Yeah,
next
that's the
year. I mean,
goal.
probably next year is what I meant. Next year,
Mhm.
2021,
Yeah.
or
What year?
next year in 4002.
Nice. Okay, good. I know. I will say I have. So we've started doing these video conference church services where we have people, call in or use the internet to do video chat. And I got to say, it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Um, there's definitely a few times where we'll kind of take a pause where I'm, going through the chapter, and I'll take a look at the screen, and it looks like people just have taken photocopies of themselves and like taped it to like a pillow and propped it up against the video. Um,
Yeah,
so I don't, yeah, I there's
I'm
actually quite a
guilty of
bit of
that.
that. I That was my way of bringing it up. Um,
Everything has to be a little bit passive aggressive.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be us. Do you not enjoy the video conference servicing?
No, I do not. I don't think it has the same energy. I don't get to play the piano / organ, so I really
Yeah.
feel purposeless. Bless you. I feel like I have no purpose. So I get sleepy, and when I sense that I'm getting sleepy, I turn off the camera, prop my pillow up, and turn the camera back on again. I thought it was seamless, but apparently you have spotted the cracks in the system, and I apologize. Please don't take it personally. Your
late.
sermons
No,
are
I
always very lovely, but when I don't have a purpose, it's just, what's my point in life? I don't feel like a good cog in the machine.
do you feel like you personally don't get as much benefit from the service as far as learning and your spiritual growth?
No, but what this quarantine has taught me is to look inward and sort of and be curious and
Yeah.
and sort of go through it by myself.
Right. Right.
So that's how I've been fulfilled with our Holy Spirit. But listening to you or others talk about it, it's not bad. It just doesn't make me feel as fulfilled as I wish.
I think that's probably something that'll be an interesting thing for the world to kind of come through once this all kind of settles down, because having everything be online, yeah, it just, even this podcast, it just doesn't quite feel the same without being able to actually see you guys. And I mean, one of my favorite things before you guys come up into my apartments is to hide the everything spread, the everything topping for the bagels, is to like, okay, where can I hide that today? Really, because there's not that much left and it's very valuable. And really trying to like, okay, I'm going to hide it here.
And you always hope every time we come when we don't ask about the everything spread.
I don't remember which one of you it was, but whoever it was that found it inside the toilet tank, that was clever sleuthing.
That was definitely John Wayne.
I mean,
you know how much he likes to tinker.
I only found it. Yeah, I only found it because I was fucking with your toilet. Otherwise I would have never found it.
You did, yeah. I was impressed that week. So
I was thinking.
I
an upper decker.
You were what?
I was thinking about leaving an upper decker.
I still couldn't hear.
I said I was thinking about leaving an upper decker.
Oh.
And then I found it.
So
Oh,
for
wow.
our audience
Did you
out
continue?
there,
Did
No,
you
no,
commit to
no.
the upper decking?
I got too excited by finding the all.
All-purpose everything.
Yeah,
did you? So for our audience, explain what an upper decker is.
it's when you take a number two in someone's toilet thing. What do they call that? What did you call that?
Tank?
Tank.
The
The toilet
tank.
tank. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you go number two in the tank,
So that way, when I flush,
it's just poop water. It's just poop water coming out of there. By the way,
have you ever actually
what?
have
Have
you
you
ever
ever done that
successfully
before?
done one?
No. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate. I can only assume that it was done. It was going to be done out of love. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why.
No one should take upper decking personally.
No, if anything, it's a sign of your affection, because that I would assume that's a lot of work, because I'm just trying to visualize
The harder
how
work
you would actually do it.
would be cleaning that up.
Oh, that's true, right? Because it's all over the inside of the tank.
Ugh.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to picture you squatting above into the upper, like that just seems like a
Would
lot
you
of effort.
squatty,
No.
potty?
So today we're going to be doing book 1, chapter 14.
That's so many chapters.
I'm so curious. I know. I'm very proud of us that
Yeah.
we're powering through this. Yeah. This is another. This is our Brittany. She kind of, it's a roller coaster. She's a roller coaster of emotions. Often the roller coaster is just kind of going straight. Because it's the same thing over and over again. But there's some ups and downs. And
Yeah, sometimes the roller coaster flatlines, and
yeah.
we don't learn too many new things from our holy goddess.
Yeah. It's like they
Except
obviously
how to
needed.
love the same boy forever.
Yeah, they needed something to kind of fill that book.
Mhm.
And so they're like, okay, well, let's just use this. We have to get our page count up. But yeah. So she begins, so curious, so curious.
Strong beginning.
Always, a strong, I can always tell that it's going to be a good one by how little you can glean from the beginning.
Little you can
How-
dissect from it.
Yeah, because what's she curious about? We'll see. I'm so curious about our love. I don't understand why you don't take my hand and tell me you care.
You care.
I see all the signs, but if you want to be mine, don't leave me up in the air.
Oh, baby. Ooh. Right off the bat, I think she should dump him.
I'm kind of getting the skeevies about
Who she fell in love with.
she makes some weird choices, but I guess that speaks to just people in general, right? Because I think we've all made odd choices in love.
Very.
Yeah. But so she's saying, I'm so curious about her love. I don't understand so she doesn't understand why this guy doesn't take her hand and says that he likes her. She's saying, hey, I see all the signs, but if you're trying to make this happen, you can't just fucking leave me hanging, right?
How do you know it's a guy?
That's fair.
Mm.
I mean, she says right off the bat, so curious. That's true. I shouldn't assume that. She continues, you better let your love show. Here's what I'm telling you. Let me know. Let me go.
Let me go. Let me go. That sounds like a fun song.
So she wants him to break up with her?
I think.
Or
I
like
think
if he... Go ahead.
it sounds like she's like, make a choice. Either let me know or let me go. Like, come or go, buddy. Make a decision.
Yeah.
Commit or don't commit.
And this is one of those ones where I think off the bat, it sounds like she's the one who's, unsure. But, when you read it, you realize, no, she's sort of taking ownership and she's taking control. And she's saying, look, dude or person, want me? Don't. Do you want this? Do you not want this? You let me know. Because as she continues to this sort of this first time that she repeats this, I'm so curious. Do you love me? Do you wonder the way that I do?
I do.
I'm so curious. What do you think of me? Boy, am I just game? Or do you feel the same as I do? Okay, so she's talking about a boy. But I mean, for all of you out there listening, this could be applied to anybody. Don't just assume that, you know, this isn't all about gender here or even about being a person, because hey, I could be thinking about this about my favorite pair of jeans.
Yep.
It's like, hey, dude, what the fuck? You don't fit anymore. You shrank. Are you
Do
trying to make this
you,
happen or
do
not?
you love me? All red flags point to you not loving me.
Yeah.
Or maybe,
I mean, I can barely get you past my knees.
I think this is a lot more about. I think this is about um, going all the way.
Mm.
I think this is about the sex. Like, hey, I'm so curious. I'm curious what it's like to have sex with you. But like, hey, if you want to have sex with me, let me know. Like, I'm game to have sex.
do you think
You
this
know?
person, if it is a person, is withholding?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, so you think that she's trying to preempt and give consent because he might be nervous?
I don't know. Maybe we're in like a relationship where they haven't had sex yet, but she's like, I'm curious. She's like, I don't understand. Like, why don't you want to have sex with me? Like,
Right.
tell me you want to. I see all the stuff, but just let it show by having sex with me.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah, let it show. Literally.
if you're not
Like,
gonna have
pull it
sex with
out.
me, then let me know and I'll just go find someone else to have sex with.
You just got to tell me.
That
Hmm?
have you guys ever experienced that where you're with someone who's just like not getting the signs?
Not having sex with you.
Well, you're kind of making it clear like, hey,
I'm down to pound.
and they're just like, do. Hey, what are you doing down there on your knees? Hey, get your hands off my zipper, silly. And it's like, okay, well,
Well, they're taking it very well. if they're if that's how they approach foreplay. Oh, and they don't know it.
Oh, what are you doing down there?
oh,
I mean, they'd have to be very naive or very obtuse, but there are those people out there.
yeah.
I was probably one of them.
Really?
Certainly. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I mean, like, I don't know, man. I've heard stories where, like, I had a friend where she was watching a movie with a fella, and then he came back into the room butt naked. She's like, we were just watching a movie. I didn't, blah, blah, blah. I didn't give other signs to do anything else. We were just friends watching a movie, and the dude came back
But
in.
they were in the bedroom.
I think it was like in a dorm. And then the kid
Holy
walks
cow.
back in the room butt naked. Like, I don't know. Some people just misread signs, man. Like, just because someone says something, some people like they have a wire loose or something. They're like, oh, this means she wants to bang.
What a bold move.
I know, right? Just coming in
And,
butt ass naked, saying, yeah.
well, what's really amazing about that story is that there's so many steps in between.
I know.
Ooh, I think I'm getting the vibe, and walking out of your bedroom naked. Like, there's a lot of other things in between there, so.
Well, I mean, there's a commitment there that you're like, I'm walking out full nude. I mean, it's gonna be hard to say no. Like, she's either gonna like some people are way too nice and be like, I probably,
Yeah,
'cause
that's
she
how
has-
that's
if
how
she
I
has
would be.
really
You have to be polite.
Yeah,
Sometimes, like, the system has taught women to be polite, so
yeah,
it's just.
Yeah.
I know the younger me would be like, I guess this is how sex works. I guess this is how friends work. Men
Yeah.
just walk in butt naked, and you have to
Yeah.
you go.
I guess this is the process.
I mean, I wonder if she was like, hey, at least he waited until after the end of the movie. So like she was able to get the
Oh, I'm sure he
you
did.
know,
Sounds like mid movie stuff.
No, I
yeah.
bet he didn't wait till the movie was over. Like if you, yeah,
Well, I'm curious what again, the idea, because it's not even just the decision to come out naked, it's the decision to leave the room and say, okay, here we go. You got this, man. You got this.
I'm
You
telling
got this.
he was picking up some signs, obviously that weren't there. But like, at what point was there this, or was he just like, I don't know, I don't think she's into this, but this is gonna be fucking hilarious.
Maybe he was just trying to be funny.
She accidentally tapped his penis at some point, like reaching for like a popcorn.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit, it's on.
So she continues. So curious, so curious. I'm so curious about her love. If it's make believe, why don't you set my heart free
Mm.
and tell me goodbye?
Why doesn't she set her own heart free
Right?
instead of
It
waiting
is.
around?
Well, maybe. Okay, what about this situation? Have you guys ever been in a situation where you like someone and in the moment it feels like it's worth all the drama?
Mm. Mhm.
But then later on you look back and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Should have read those red flags and gone.
Yeah.
I-
I'm
it's
so curious why
so
I put up with that.
It's just chemical. You're like, oh, it's totally worth this.
People
Yeah.
love love.
People love love, even when they know it's not sustainable love.
Well, you don't. I think in the moment most people. I think the majority of people are like so hopeful, like, okay, this is gonna work out. Oh, this is a normal speed bump. This is fine. This
Mhm.
is supposed to happen. Like some people, like, what's the word? Where you make something okay for a certain reason. What's the word? There's a word for it.
Justify?
Yeah. People justify certain stuff just like for themselves, for whatever reason. Like I said, people want to find love. People want to find someone right for them. So a lot of people will justify shit. Like, oh,
Yeah.
he might have killed that person. No. Carol Baskins, she's a good person. She hires volunteers. She's fine. She would never.
She hires volunteers so she doesn't have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. The smartest one of them all.
Yeah.
That was crazy that we found that show and it's taken the world over
I stole.
again, just like it did the first time. I still haven't seen it.
Really?
You haven't watched that?
Yeah.
You just
Not yet.
And I really didn't want to watch it, but like we watched an episode and I think I really just wanted to know, did Carol Baskins kill her husband?
Mhm.
Like
And we
that.
never know.
Yeah, I just kept watching it just so I could figure out what happened. I just want to know
Yeah.
how it ended. Honestly,
It was
I was-
edited perfectly to keep
It
us
was.
on the edge of our seat.
yeah.
So
So
well.
He did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, it took the guy. I was reading it took the guy like 5 years to do it all, like just record it. God knows how long he was in editing for.
Yeah.
I can't even
I
imagine.
wonder when did they start production?
I don't know. A while, because if you look back, like in the beginning, he talks about how when he started, it wasn't even originally his story he was doing. He
Mm.
just happened to come across that by doing.
And that's when all this shit was happening. Like,
Yeah, he like the guy.
Wasn't it just
he was in
wasn't
prime.
he just wasn't he trying to create a documentary about that world, about people who were like raising big cats or like these sanctuaries, and then he stumbled upon that story?
I don't think that's originally how it started. He says he goes over it briefly, like how it originally starts. Like he was
Mhm.
going somewhere where people were buying like illegal, like like these crazy animals. Like it shows him like some guy has this. It was so sad. Someone had a fucking snow leopard in their van.
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
like-
I remember
It's
this.
like in the southern heat in
Mhm.
Louisiana or Florida, and the guy opens his van. He's like, check the snow leopard out. And the,
Mhm.
and the
Oh my-
guy's even like, the guy recording, he's like, oh, should the snow leopard be in a van with no AC on and like
in
100
Southern California.
He's like, no, he's fine. He's acclimated to the weather. Bitch, acclimated? Bitch, you ain't even acclimated to the weather, and you probably grew up there, you little bitch. I was like, I wanted to reach through that TV and choke that motherfucker. A fucking snow leopard
And that
in
was
a
the first
van.
episode.
Yeah, but
That was
yeah,
crazy.
But he said he came across it like because he was like doing like something about the illegal animals and how people can buy them or something, and then he
Yeah,
just
breeding
happened,
and selling.
and then I think he just kept coming across all the big cat stuff, and he's like, I'm gonna follow
Yeah,
this.
it's like he opened, what is that called?
Pandora's box.
Pandora's box. Like
Yeah,
the
I mean,
second he investigated one little thing, it grew into this crazy storyline, and he just happened to be there at the best part. Like, how convenient for him to be around Joe Exotic during the peak of insanity. Like, how crazy. And that one documentarian, wait, Aaron, you haven't seen it?
I haven't yet.
Oh my God, just watch it. It's amazing.
I will.
Take
I
the
will.
entire day. Because, like, that's what we ended up. I don't binge watch all the time unless it's super fascinating and they really leave you hanging in every episode. This is one thing that I binge watched the whole month.
Well, maybe you know what? Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we'll do a bonus episode. Maybe I'll watch it, and then in a couple weeks we can do a bonus episode, and maybe we can figure something out for audience out there.
We can do that, but we're a little behind the times if we do a bonus episode recapping Tiger King.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, 2,000 years behind.
Fair enough.
Well, okay, but that's a good segue. The documentarian was curious, just like Britney is curious. So, I remember. I was going to say, it's kind of one of those things also, back on what you were saying, John Wayne, about how I think it's also a thing when you're young and you kind of think, this is it. This is the one. He's the one. She's the one. They're the one. Why don't they love me? Why won't they understand? And I don't know what age it is where you find it, maybe some people don't ever learn that.
I think it's just an experience.
Where you can just say, you know what? He's not into me.
And okay. I'm too good for
Bye,
that.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think that's your experience. Like you have to be burned a couple times for you to be like, oh, okay, this is a lesson that I haven't learned
yes.
yet.
Yes.
What was that, John Wayne?
John Wayne, is that a pillow with your face on it? No, you're just not moving. Okay.
Okay. He's
okay.
He's just ignoring this.
Where were we? And tell me goodbye. But if it's for real, wait, I already said that. Okay. So she says, is this goodbye or hello? Here's what I'm, oh no, I said that. So is this goodbye or hello? Here's what I'm telling you. Let me know. Let me go. I'm so curious. Yes. So I already read this. So again, so curious. Yeah. All day and night, I just dream of you.
Whoa.
Of you.
Were you waiting on someone to say of you?
I was.
Sorry. I thought you got
parentheticals.
Lost in thought.
I think about all the things that we could do. I'm dying for, and I'm feeling for the day when you could open up and say you feel the same. You feel like I do.
Yeah.
That's all night and all day and all night. I just dream of you. That's.
So she sleep 24 hours a day?
I guess so. I don't know. I mean,
you can daydream.
That's true.
I guess, but he must have some golden. Oh, John Wayne is holding his hands very far apart. I'm assuming to indicate the size. Penis size.
But
right, but you're all
him naked if she hasn't had sex with him yet.
No, but she can see his girth through his pants.
Whoa.
Because this guy's obviously not walking out of the bedroom naked. But size doesn't. Does size? I mean, does size matter?
Have you guys ever been about to have sex and then they take their clothes off and you're like, I'm good?
Yes.
And in the gay community, it's less. It's not controversial to do that, right?
Well, mine was more specific because
it was a woman who you saw naked, and you're like, "No, you're good."
Yeah, nope, no, but it ain't working for me.
No,
wow.
No, it was a. So for anybody that gets grossed out, press the forward 15 seconds button, maybe 4 times.
Let's do a soft 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, just to kind of give yourself, an easy way out. So men out there are either circumcised or uncircumcised.
Mhm.
And sometimes when people are uncircumcised,
Ew.
they may not know how to clean down there.
Isn't that the number
And
one rule if you are uncircumcised to clean?
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
You know, for today's theme, I'm curious as to what they're thinking because things got started and it was very evident, you know, via my nose that he was not someone who handled his stuff. And it was like, okay, well, let's take this to the shower. And
Settle.
yeah. I mean, he probably was wondering why he was like, "Ooh, yes, he's on his knees." No, I'm on my knees with a fucking washcloth
Pipe
and
cleaner.
soap. Yeah. How did you know? Did we talk about this already?
No, I just guessed.
Yeah, that's the tool of choice. So, yeah,
What?
a pipe cleaner.
What do you think the percentage of uncircumcised versus circumcised penises are?
Well, I don't. I
It's
think
not your
most of the
choice.
world is. I think most of the world is uncircumcised. Circumcision is just.
Oh, you're talking about culturally, yes.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing that we even started.
Yeah. Old religion.
So she kind of ends this off. I'm so curious. Do you love me?
Me.
Do you wonder the way that I do?
I do.
I'm so curious.
So curious.
What do you think of me? Boy, am I just a game? Or do you feel the same? Do you love me? Ooh. Do you wonder the way that I do?
I do.
I'm so curious. What do you think of me? Boy, am I just a game? You know, so obviously we're going to talk about this, but that line, do you love me?
Very
I
straightforward.
feel like if you're in a situation where you have to ask that, that's got to be the sign to like,
That's
bye.
the flag. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like if you have to ask that,
You know,
no.
it's interesting. One of my most recent relationships that went down the toilet. I went down the upper deck of the toilet.
You beat me to it. Damn it.
I was just sitting at a restaurant after months of being with this person, and I finally just like looked up at him, and I'm like, "Oh, you don't love me." And then that person went, "You know, I don't." And then we broke up. It was just like that.
That is so weird.
Mm-hmm. It's kind.
How did you feel?
I was like, at first, I think, I mean, I wasn't super insulted. I just thought this person was stupid for a second. I was like, oh my God, he didn't even know he didn't love me. He couldn't figure out why he was so depressed for a second there. And I'm the one who instigated, basically. Who knows how long that relationship would have gone on if I wasn't like, dude, I'm going to drop this bomb, this truth bomb, this observation. You don't love me. And then the fact that it shocked that person and made them have an epiphany, it means it's over. Like,
yeah.
Right. Did you?
Well, in that situation,
but it was very civil because of that, because we were just honest.
Did you still love them, or were you out of love too?
The second I made that observation, I was like, all right, this is over. And I was okay with it. I wasn't super insulted. Like, I think the big part of breakups is your ego gets so messed up from it that's why it hurts and that's why it lingers. But if you could just put it aside, then you're like, oh, well, this was a pleasure.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
And so we're still friends, probably because it was so civil.
Yeah.
Who paid for dinner that night?
Probably him. Because, I mean, there was anger behind it a little bit because I was just like annoyed. I was like, this is annoying. I ain't paying.
You're like, I ain't paying, and I'm also going to get a calamari to go. Um,
I should have
well,
ordered.
I think it's a great example, and I think your story kind of proves this, that, when people are completely candid, I've always had a thing for candor,
Mhm.
you know, when, because Brittany is saying, "Hey, boy, do you love me? I'm curious. What do you think of me? Am I just a game?" I mean, Brittany was being you in that situation.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But you could
Well, she was
also
asking
see,
questions. She wasn't making statements or observations. She's like, "Yo,
yeah.
I still need to know."
And if both of you are completely honest, see, for example, with you, you were butthurt for a second, but it probably made getting over it a lot easier because you had asked and he was honest.
Mhm.
You know,
Oh, I didn't
whereas if
ask. I stated.
oh, stated, okay, but
Yeah.
if he had said, "No, no, you're acting crazy. I'm just like got a lot on my mind," and you know,
Then I
whatever,
would have,
whatever.
if that explanation, and if it was the truth, then I would totally be like, "Oh, okay, so this has nothing to do with me. I'm a narcissist. I'll never say, you know."
Well, no, but my point was, is if he was lying to you and just
Mm.
trying to, like, if he wasn't able to be honest, hypothetically, if he wasn't able to be honest with you, because it's hard to be honest.
Yes,
I
it is.
think sometimes it
And
was
people
with
need time to
relationships.
process too.
Yeah, and who knows how long that bad situation would have lingered.
Mhm.
But by you being honest and him being honest, you guys were able to sort of move on faster. You know.
Or maybe he did love me and I just gaslit him. Maybe I made him, maybe I planted that idea in his brain and he wasn't thinking those things at all. I
You don't
just
Yeah.
love me. I don't. I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Maybe he was doing that game where he was testing you, like, well, let me see if she loves me, and maybe he was hoping that you would say, fight for him, and you're like, you know what? Well, I'm good. I'll just get a couple calamaris to go, and yeah, you got this, right? You got this, okay, and then you
Oh, I
bounce.
was cold. Yeah, it was weird.
John Wayne, any gaslighting experiences you've had where honesty played an important part?
Um, on it. Explain gaslighting again.
Gaslighting is when, like, say hypothetically, you and I are in a relationship and you're cheating on me and I suspect it. And I'm like, "Hey, is everything going on? Are what's going on with that other guy?" And you're like, "No, no, no, you're crazy. You're crazy. It's all in your head." It's basically where you're trying to convince someone
They're crazy.
that they're crazy, that the signs that they're seeing aren't,
Yeah, I'm sure I have.
well, actually, that's probably a weird thing because you've only been in the one main relationship. You're with your wife.
Right.
And then obviously now,
I'm sure I
you know,
gaslit her for some reason at some point.
yeah.
Sometimes we don't
Well,
even know we're gaslighting someone. Sometimes we're just trying to deny our wrongdoing.
yeah.
So we're just like, "Wow." And then,
Sh-
and as a result, you accidentally gaslight someone.
Yeah.
I mean,
She
who knows? Maybe she was gaslighting you about the bottom bunk. Maybe she really didn't care.
she probably didn't. She was probably just being a bee and just didn't want me to have it.
Yeah. Sounds like her.
And she was gaslighting you by saying, "No, you don't want it. It's bad. The airflow is not as good." She was trying
Bed
to look
bugs
out for
down
you.
here. You
You
don't want
know,
it. I swear.
Yeah, probably.
little did you know that she actually had like memory foam put in, and she had
And twinkle lights.
600 count Egyptian cotton bed sheets.
That was
I don't know.
quite the move. What a chess move she made.
She was very
She
smart.
bluffed. Rest in peace.
So yeah. So what did everybody get from that? What's a lesson we can take away from that?
When you're young, you don't know how to walk away when you should. When you're inexperienced, you don't know how to walk away when you should. Because you think this is
John
as
Wayne?
good as it's going to get.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have nothing to compare it to. So you're like, this must be it. My chemicals are firing. This must be the one.
There's a lot of different fish in the sea, there's not just one dick or one vagina or one person.
Heyo.
There's a lot of, you have options, you know. John Wayne,
there's
what's something you can take away from this?
I think you kind of said it. I mean, some people do get really lucky and find the one when they're younger, or at least the one they think is the one, and they spend the rest of their life together. But I think for the majority of people, I think they have to jump around. Like a lot of
jump,
people settle.
jump.
I think this is about being curious about what it's like out there, and not committing to someone and finding someone that you really connect with, and not
Yeah.
just like someone that has the right boob size or the right D size or moves it in the right way. But more than
Circumcised,
that.
uncircumcised.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Bush, not Bush.
You never know. You might be curious about what a circumcised penis is like compared to the uncircumcised. Maybe the uncircumcised is better. You don't know unless you try.
I think for the man it's better.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So they're living the life.
And how do
I
you
can
know
only
that?
imagine if it's like this circumcised. I can only imagine if I was uncircumcised, I'd be like,
I need to look up what it looks like. To be honest,
No,
I
you
couldn't tell you.
Oh, really?
it looks like a penis with a turtleneck.
It looks like a penis with a calamari at the end.
It's like a water balloon got rolled up. Like the finger.
Like the tip.
Yeah.
Well, hey everybody, I hope you're able to get something out of all of that. Today was a good one. I think that's just a universal, honesty is the best policy. Be candid, be curious, be open-minded. Yeah, I think that's a great takeaway, you guys. So, okay, so what we're going to do, we actually only have one more chapter left in this first book. But what we're going to do, everybody, we're actually going to take a pause. And we kind of want to take some time to let all of this simmer and then do our final episode when we can come back together and we can actually be in the same room, because I don't want to speak for the both of you, but I enjoy when we're all together doing this together live in person.
Yeah. Plus we can share a bunch of food. That's what I.
Yeah,
enjoy.
absolutely.
I miss sharing food and toilets with you guys.
And yeah, so we're gonna come back probably in either June or July. And we'll have our final episode, and then we'll talk a little bit about season 2 or book 2 then. And then in the meantime, there's probably going to be a couple episodes. I'll probably release some episodes of some of the outtakes and a little bit of content here and that. Maybe every other week.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'll release some stuff.
There is content.
Yeah, but stay tuned for next week, because next week we're going to kind of have a little wrap up episode. So everybody tune in for that. But yeah, follow us social media, www.britneydo. Email us, www.britneydo@gmail.com. And yeah, miss you guys.
Miss you.
Man.
Well,
hey, Britney,
yeah, so bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Are we talking to the audience or each other?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, for a split second, I blanked on how we normally end it. I'm like, normally John Wayne and Bessie say bye. How do I get them to say bye each? Anyway. Oh, I know. Bye, Bessie Jo.
Goodbye, Aaron. Goodbye, John Wayne.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, John Wayne. Goodbye, Bessie Jo.
Goodbye, Aaron. Goodbye, John Wayne.
Goodbye, son. Goodbye, cruel.
I am so great at outros.
And intros.
So, yeah, that's that.
I like that. Like, the last thing to be said is that's that.